I've been wandering around Melbourne for the last 2 months. I won't tell you what I've been up to, but I would say that there would be right now more than 100 apartments, buildings, houses that are empty. It's a huge issue. Some of them I would call demolition by neglect or land banking. Some of them are just simply empty. What are your policies on that, please?
What do you want to say about empty buildings? What to do about them?
Well, one of the problems that we find ourselves in housing crisis is that foreign investors were allowed to come into this country, bought hundreds and hundreds of houses, and the background of one businessman in Auckland that I did in Nepal. He's a Kiwi, but he told me that his Chinese businessman that he met him through, I don't know how, he bought 26 houses and he locked them, he closed them and left. No one was living on them. And then this government came and abandoned this. Then the national government called us racist for saying that Kiwis should have an opportunity to afford houses, but also we have a right not to sell our houses to foreign investors. Now they're proposing tax cuts. And how are they going to pay for it? They're going to pay for the Chinese wealthy nationals going to come and buy our houses, and all of a sudden they're going to pay taxes on it. All the experts, everyone is saying that this is not practical, it's dodgy, it doesn't add up, it doesn't stack up. So, you know, I like to think that we would have learned the lesson from the 9 years of selling our houses, our assets. Now that policy is coming back. We need to say no. We need to push back on those policies because it's going to damage, it's going to get us into the crisis that we are struggling to come out.
I guess maybe empty houses and selling them on.
So I think the first thing I'd say is I don't agree with what Abraham said, that the idea that a foreign buyer may purchase a house over $2 million and would pay 15% tax to New Zealand over that. That's a model that's been used in a lot of other countries overseas, and it has not caused the type of issues which I think Abraham is referring to. In terms of the empty houses issue, so I'm going to be really honest, I wasn't actually really aware of that, and I can't tell you off the top of my head that National has a view on it. But what I would say is that, you know, as someone who, if I end up being the representative of people of Wgtn Central, you know, I'd certainly want to listen, I'd want to understand, and then I'd want to go talk to people in government and government agencies about whether there's a policy issue there. There has been this issue around the country that some of the changes in tenancy laws have meant that people have been unwilling to tenant their houses. This has happened a lot in Queenstown. But the issue in Mount Victoria, I'm not sure that I understand that. I'd be happy to talk to you afterwards to understand it better.
We'll try another question. We've got another one over here. Angela, thank you. And then once we've done this, we're getting down to our last few minutes. I'll ask what people want to do next. Some topics and such. I'm not going to speak.
Laura, are you still in favour of getting rid of so-called colonial relics?
I'm not sure that those are my exact words. I think it was colonial streetscapes and not relics. I am in favour of densifying the inner city, yes, and where there is an old house that is poor quality that is being rented out to people who do not have the money to buy their own house, then yes, it should be bold to be intensified. And the reason I said that about the colonial aspect of it is because we were having a conversation about whose heritage we were protecting. That is why I said that. So
Our heritage.
whose heritage?
Everybody. It's New Zealand heritage. whether it's colonial or not.
It is colonial, and that is a fact, that it is colonial heritage, and that is a fact.
Thank you.
Sorry. It's objectively true that it is colonial heritage.
Government and council, yes, it can.
Thanks. So, just a minute, I'll just have a check of the time. We've only got about 10 minutes left, so there was two other